So in the last probably 5 months I was pregnant. I ended up with a whole host of issues, lots of complications, infections, and I was having to take antibiotics pretty much weekly. I was hospitalized a couple times. Just really hard stuff. I had baby, and then 2 weeks postpartum, ended up in the hospital with massive kidney stones, and was pretty sick. I had 3 surgeries over the course of a month and a half after that, and finally they were able to get the kidney stones, and I've kind of been just coming out of that whole thing, and had it's been maybe a month to just kind of start to get into a routine. During all of it, I really struggled with, just in all honesty, just focusing on the Lord, and it kind of sounds ridiculous to say, but things like prayer and sitting in His presence and reading my Bible seemed hard. It's been maybe the last 2 weeks where I felt like the Lord has started to, or I've allowed myself to kind of start thinking back on all of the crazy in the last 5 months, and start to recognize and see all of the places where, when I was in it, I felt there was a lot of times where I was feeling alone, especially when I was in the hospital by myself for 4 days. Couldn't see my kids, my brand new baby. That was just awful, and just feeling a lot of alone. But then now being able to look back and go, oh, there's all these things, these situations, or these people where I may have felt alone, but deep down I was okay. I knew I was going to be able to make it. And that was because the Lord had been strategically putting these things in my life. And now that I'm looking back, it's even more, it's like the God encounter is continuing. Like one instance was every weekend, pretty much for the last month of my pregnancy, month and a half, I was having to have shots, antibiotic shots. And my doctor's office, the nurse that was in charge there, she would meet me on her time off and give me the shots, and her and I have developed a friendship. And so I have her personal number, and we text and we talk, and just not just about medical stuff, but about just life. And so that's been a really awesome relationship that's begun to develop. So it was all these little things that were happening, that even though I was neglecting my relationship with the Lord, He was still there. He was still reaching out and helping me through it. And in the last week, I've kind of started to feel some guilt when I've thought about that, and I've been having all of these reminders and thinking back on this whole time. I felt guilt, and the Lord has just basically sat me down and said, there's no guilt that you need to feel. You don't need to feel guilt. I'm faithful. I'm always faithful to you. Even when you're unfaithful, I still am faithful. And I'm not mad at you. I've just missed you. I've missed our time together. And I'm not going anywhere. I didn't go anywhere. My eyes have been on you the whole time. I haven't taken my eyes off you. And I just want to have time to sit with you, and just so we can be together and like before.